Hi everyone, good morning. It's Margaret Manning here. Welcome to 60 and Me. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I hope that you're doing great. I do want to start off by thanking you for your support and for being here with us and just showing the commitment to 60 and Me that I value so much. I love getting your emails. Thank you for sending them and for leaving your comments with all of our articles. Please check out our website. We've just redone the homepage and lots more content there now in different categories that we have discovered, and we, by talking to you really have determined is what you want to read. So it's 60andme.com. A lot of you come to these videos through YouTube, so may not even know that we have other channels like our website and Twitter, of course, big Facebook community, lots of activity there. So thank you. Just thanks for being here. I really do appreciate it. So this morning I'm drinking my tea. I do this every day. I choose a tea of the day. Today I've got lemon ginger. It's a Twinings tea. And I like lemon ginger. I actually drink a lot of it. And I drink it in the morning, just sometimes with lemon, extra lemon. Then in the evening, just a lemon ginger. Ginger, by the way, is, it's the same family as turmeric, and it's been proven, not proven, it claims to give so much benefit to your body. And I say proven because there have been lots and lots of studies showing the effectiveness of ginger in just creating a healthy lifestyle, healthy, addition to your body, to your diet. Anyway, lemon ginger is my tea today. Hope you've got something nice to drink wherever you are. And, drinking a tea made from a plant that comes from the ground really made me think today about the power that nature has to affect our mood, the way that we make decisions about our lives. But there's also a lot of symbolism for me when I'm watching the seasons shifting and changing. And, it came to me that it might be a useful conversation just to get some perspective on how we can model our lives, really after Mother Nature and use some of the lessons that she teaches us. There is a very interesting study called biomimicry, which is about how a lot of scientists now are looking at how plants, or how animals particularly, use natural abilities to cope with their lives, the world. So for example, a bird that flies into the water to get its fish to eat has designed a special kind of beak that goes into the water and doesn't splash. It's kind of that, precision diving. And they've used this technology or this idea to create, different machines that need that same kind of ability. So anyway, biomimicry, really, really interesting study. But also the season now is, for me, spring. And I get to take my little grandson now, Max, out for walks regularly, and I love him. Well, first of all, he's adorable and just such a sweet child, but also he loves going for walks by a creek. It's just a little stream by his house, and as the seasons have changed, the leaves have disappeared, and then they're coming back. The grass has disappeared, and now it's popping up through the ground. There are little daffodils, snowdrops, and tulips coming into life, and I get to talk to him about it, about things coming back, and the creek is getting fuller with more rain, and it's just a lesson. And I read an article. It's by someone called Suraj Sehgal, and it's in a magazine called Heartfulness magazine, and I thought I'd just pull it out and talk to you about it because it's kind of for me a really good insight into how we can use nature as a model for our own behavior, like the biomimicry example. So the first thing that he talks about is seeds. Now, for Max, my son has actually put some seeds into a little pot and is letting him watch the plants grow, or actually from seedlings. And it's been really interesting to think about what's in a seed, in a seedling, that there's all the chemistry, all the ingredients for life are in a seed. It's got all the nutrients, all the nourishment that is needed for this beautiful plant. And sometimes the plants are like teas or things that we eat, and it nourishes us. But the thing that in this article that made me think about this is, if you take a seed, just any old seed, and put it in your pocket, it's not going to do anything. It's just going to just dry up, and nothing, that life-giving energy that's in the plant or in the seed won't grow. But if you put it in a nourished environment, if you put it in some soil, or you put it in water, or somewhere that it's going to be in an environment that's nourishing and life-supporting, then it will grow. It'll grow into a beautiful plant. And everything that is needed to create life is in that seed, which I think is a really, really cool way of looking at potential in life. And the analogy, of course, that Suraj makes in the article is, like us, if we give the water and nourishment to a sapling, it will grow. If we give that nourishment to ourselves, we will grow. And it made me think, like, we've had 60 years of growing, and every step along the way, we have had opportunities to, put ourselves in someone's pocket and not grow, or we've given ourselves the right environment, food, home, place, people, to grow and to maximize our potential. We are full of potential. At every moment of our lives, we've got the opportunity to grow strong and magnificently. And there's really just an abundance of words we could use to describe that. So we can learn from spring, I think. We can learn from spring that a seed like us has all the potential to grow and to be magnificent and wonderful if we nourish it. Another thing that spring reminds us of is that nature is ever cyclical. It just goes in cycles. There really is a time and a season for everything. And I think that has been maybe one of the things I've learned throughout the ups and downs in my life. When I've been going through something that has been making me feel sad or not fulfilled, and I think, this is just the season. This is the season to rest. It's the season to go inward, to reflect, to meditate, and then come out again and blossom. And those cycles of life, are visible in nature. The trees I mentioned earlier. In the winter, they're barren. They're thinking. They're growing inside. They're getting strong. And then when all the conditions are right, then they will burst into life. And I think that's the important thing to think about, is that we don't sometimes see the growth. It's kind of hidden inside of us. So the colors are changing, the manifestation of nature is changing, but it's cyclical. It all comes around. I think that's an important thing, to never get discouraged by, the things that are maybe seeming overwhelming. Another thing that spring reminds us about is that nature adapts to change. It doesn't just, do its thing repeatedly in the same pattern. If there's an issue with nature, like rain doesn't come or something happens with the weather, it actually is resilient. And I know, for example, when we were traveling many years ago in the park in Yellowstone, there had been a big fire, and a lot of the park had been really destroyed, all the plants. And I remember taking a picture of this one, it was a sunflower seed and a sunflower plant, and in the midst of all this burnt area was this beautiful little plant just popping itself out, little green shoot. And it was just so affirmative to think that it didn't just give up. It just kind of went, oh, okay, I have to push harder, I have to be creative, I have to try harder. And I think that adapting to change is a super important lesson that we can get from the seasons and from nature. Another thing that nature reminds us about is that we're connected. We are all connected. In nature, the bees have to transport the pollen. They have to, feed the nourishment to other plants to have them, I think the word is there, but it basically allows seeds to spread. And it's just that dependency, that kind of interdependency that we have with, that nature has with itself. Certain plants have to be, ready in the springtime to get the animals that are coming out of hibernation nourished. And it's just that timing that Mother Nature knows this is needed right now. And it's that dependency that, is recognized and valued. So I think that every in this ecosystem that is our world, everything has a place. It has a time of connecting. And I think it's so true with people. We can live our lives by ourselves, and we can do everything alone, be independent. But there's that sense that we thrive and we get stronger and more recognize our potential when we are nourished by other people and other things. So I think that's really an important thing. We are no woman, no man is an island, and I do believe that. I truly do. And I think the final thing that this article shows, which I think is wonderful, I've got a necklace that keeps dropping down. I want it to be there. It's my little crystal thing. I need to get a shorter necklace. Anywho, I can see it there. So another thing that this article mentions, which I think is really a good one to close on, is that we have to bloom where we're planted. The tree doesn't say, oh goodness, I don't like this view here. I think I'm just going to not be here anymore. The tree just blooms where it's planted. It blooms where it's got the nourishment and where it's expected to, it's got the right environment for it. And I think sometimes we might want to be somewhere else. We might not be in the city or the town or with the relationship or whatever, but we have to kind of bloom where we are. And I think that that's an important element to some of the philosophies that I find particularly intriguing. We wrote an article about wabi-sabi, which is this philosophy of accepting flaws, and appreciating not everything's perfect. So I think that that's a really cool. Spring flowers or winter vegetables, it's just, they're all doing their thing right where they're meant to be. So I hope you are too. Anyway, I do hope that this has been an inspiring chat. It doesn't really matter if you're watching this in the spring or the fall. It's all relevant. It's just nature teaching us how to grow full and to bloom where we are. So, what season do you like? Is spring your favorite season, or do you prefer the autumn? What's your favorite season? I'd love to know that. Just leave it in the comments section. We'll have a conversation, and I look forward to reading them and learning more about you all. So take very, very good care. I'll speak to you again soon. Bye-bye for now.